All right, hello everyone. This is the obligatory Balisong Collection video. I'm just gonna show off my collection, basically. How I got into the hobby, a little bit about my story, maybe. So this is my case. I just spent like 80 bucks on a case at Amazon. I decked it out because I'm an artist and I love customization. But yeah, here's my collection. It's just it's 18 ballad songs. It's not as much as some people, but I think it's still kind of a lot. I'll go in order from my first ballad song to probably the most recent, and this is my first ballad song. Jeez, oh my god, I haven't flipped this in a while. Jesus, like, oh my god, it's kind of like falling apart as well. Oof, you can't really do like chaplains or fans at all on this thing. Yeah, so this was the ballad song I flipped for like almost, I think, like a year almost. So my brother made one, and then I wanted one, so I made one as well. Like the pivot area is just fucking massive. It is endwood. I did kind of engineer it, kind of neat. It's got a tang, so like stops the blade, or the blade from passing through. Yeah, but this thing is not flippable. Oh my god. Yeah, that pivot area is like really big. Yeah, that's my very first Balisong, Lego Balisong. Next, I went down the whole rabbit hole of like watching Blade Bias, Will Hirsch, that bunch of stuff. And my first real Balisong, technically it's plastic. I didn't want to start with the Squiddy because, whatchamacallit, I wanted something that would last in my collection or would like age well. And this thing ages very well. This is the Edit Light, and right when it was when plastic was like a big thing on Blade Bias's channel, I got into Balisongs this way, and I freaking love this thing. This thing's like might be a little chunky, but honestly, my goal was to have a Balisong that I would continue to flip or like appreciate. Like further I went into flipping, and I still appreciate it now, so I'm glad I made that decision. This thing I learned how to fan properly on. Like that thing I cannot fan properly on, so this thing I learned how to properly fan on and stuff like that. And dude, despite how light it is, I still really like it. Surprisingly still neutral. Flip Forge does some amazing stuff. And the next Balisong, I believe, is my Volt Pro, and this thing was my first metal Balisong, and it is all right. I think a lot of the money you're spending on this thing is for the design and the Will Hirsch brand. I think it looks really good, and both the G10 and this satin finish feels so nice in your hand. It's just so comfortable. But in terms of flipping, it's kind of got that Kraken syndrome, but like not like the good parts of the Kraken. It's kind of just, I don't know. I did enjoy it when I had it. I just don't flip it that much. It's just not something that I reach for in my collection anymore. But it's nice to still have, kind of, because it acts as a benchmark for like when I got into metal flippers. I think the next is a Nautilus, the Nautilus V2 clone. This is by Armshark, not Squid. I'm sorry. So when I was getting into the hobby, I knew that my preferences completely were not developed. So I wanted to like dip my toes into the water and see like what type of Balisongs or what Balisongs other Balisongs could offer. And I wasn't 100% on spending like going all fully in to investing into a Balisong. So I really wanted a Nautilus. The thing is that for the price, I don't think it's worth it. And especially for what the condition was with my flipping and stuff like that, I didn't want to invest into something in case I just didn't like it. And I think that was a good idea. But I still do really like the Nautilus. I think I appreciated it a little more when I started doing scissors and stuff like that. Of course, I do a horrible scissor. Yeah, learning more technical tricks that require like less interaction with the Balisong, like scissors and stuff like that. I appreciated this thing a lot more because like things like tech, that's by your side. Things like tech is a lot easier on this thing. And I'm just bad. Next Balisong, it is the Orion 1.5. This thing, actually, no, hold on. I'm misremembering. I think the fourth one actually might have been the palettes. Yeah, as you can see here, I have 2 palettes actually. So this thing actually like ruled in my collection. I freaking love the palette. It's so good. It does everything that you want it to, for tech, for light tricks, for slow tricks. Like it does everything. And despite being a long Balisong, it's still very controlled in that aspect, similar to the Nautilus. And the reason why I have 2 of these things is because I think the only negative thing I could say about the palette is the durability, and I flipped the fuck out of my palette. So as you can see, this one is like my like destroyed or beat up palette. I have duct tape here because the nipple like completely, like I got handle slapped out of the thing, so I needed to duct tape it, as well as the blade I think cracked and stuff like that. But I abused this thing. My edit light still actually has held up. I've dropped it down the stairs and on the concrete, and it still somehow survived. But yeah, don't throw plastic on concrete. I'm just a freaking idiot. God, I can't do doubles. Anyways, I'm gonna put these down. These are the 4th Balisong I owned, and I have the tie blade. I want a crescent blade because I flipped one with the crescent blade, and honestly, like, dude, that extra tip weight feels so good. Anyway, sorry. Coming back to the Orion 1.5, I didn't mean to skip you. This thing, oh my god, it's so good for the price. Like, with all the praise that I was getting when it came out, or like when Blade Bias was praising it a bunch, I really, really wanted one. And this was the first Balisong I bought actually secondhand, so I'm so glad I also didn't get scammed that first time. We'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, this thing is my beater. Fucking, dude, this thing has a story. The tune is still, like, surprisingly good, despite me dropping it on concrete and fucking it up a lot. So if you may notice, to look a little bit closely, I don't know if you can see that, but like both the top and the bottom pivots, I stripped everything. Literally every single fucking screw I stripped. Yeah, this thing I had a lot of issues with because the previous owner kind of already pre-stripped the screws already when I bought it from them. And it kept backing out, the screw. So I ended up Loctiting it, and that was the fucking dumbest thing I could have done because I put way too much Loctite. And if you can see here, I don't know if the light will show it, this handle, the anodization is slightly faded. You know why? Because I got Loctite in my bushing, and I needed to boil the fucking Balisong in order to remove the bushing. It was crazy. Anyways, it still flips. I still beat it. I've dropped it on concrete after that, and boy, is this thing held up still. I really do like the Orion, how it flips like in mint condition. I know LDY published a sick ass ano version, like the yellow and blue and the pink and black. Those are so good, dude. I gotta hold back because I already have an Orion. I don't need it. Anyway, this thing very good. Like it a lot. Yeah. Next Balisong, also bought secondhand, the Corvus. Boys, do I love the look of this thing as well. This thing, oh my god, itty bitty nice. This thing definitely, you've heard of its praise with fanning, and it do be fanning. I meant to do a fan transfer there, and instead I just swapped my hand like an idiot there. Yeah, but this thing, I could have gotten a live blade, but I do really like the look of live blade. But this trainer, it looks so good. Like, dude, LDY does some of the goes the extra mile and just makes blades so much nicer to hold, or just the feel of it. Like, all the cutouts are all beveled and stuff like that, and this blade just looks so fucking sick. God, I'm gonna run out of space. Got a lot of Balisongs. Next was Bird of Prey, right? The Create with Nibali's winner. This thing, I am okay with. I enjoyed it when I first initially flipped it, this thing taught me how to pinky roll over there. Of course, every single trick I try to demonstrate, I just suck at it. Whatever. Yeah, this thing taught me the pinky rollover just because it rolled over so well. I think now, as of lately, I've kind of not really picked up this Balisong very much. I still do really like it, especially for its design. This is definitely one of the most like coolest engineered Balisongs that there are. Like literally, it takes on the challenges of the Volt Pro and like takes it even further by making it Chandwidge and applying like a G10, not even G10, like a 3D printed spacer at the bottom. Yeah, this thing is really cool, and I do think these aluminum blade inserts look like so fire. Yeah, this thing I'm like okay with. It's not the best flipper just because of its length and the end weightedness. I really do like the Orion for its end weightedness, but the thing is that it's much more distributed. So I'm oftentimes not really reaching for this very much, unfortunately. I still do kind of want to keep it though, just because it looks so cool. Definitely a looker. Next was the kite. Oh god. This thing I have a love and hate relationship with. This thing flips absolutely immaculately. It looks absolutely stunning. This ano is actually like really cool. I don't know where my camera is. Oh my god. This reverse Tonto, I never had any problems with, also because it's a false edge. But I really also do like the look of this thing, but this thing has given me so many nightmares about tuning and fucking fixing this thing. If you can tell, the sound is definitely not as ringy as some other kites. Like it still does have its sound, but it's pinsless. So I know it was a beta, but the both like this, you have like a block of titanium. You probably can't see it here. You probably still can't see it. Whatever. There's like a block of titanium that acts as like the Zen pin, and it just got mushed. It just got so mushed, and like, dude, I think I overlubed this thing because I wanted it to sound good like 24/7, and I'm a fucking idiot. Or was a fucking idiot. Well, I'm still a fucking idiot. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, I definitely overlubed this thing and sanded down the bushing while I was flipping it. But yeah, this thing has given me a lot of tuning issues because the tolerances for some reason were like super tight as well. Like it would free swing when there would be no fucking pivot in there, and it was just being held completely by friction. And of course, I didn't know much about tuning, so I kind of ruined this thing. It's kind of my fault, but I do still really like the way this thing flips. This thing is amazing. I do have number 77. 7's my favorite number. Next up, I think, was the Impulse. This thing 100% was also an Impulse buy because of its name. Yeah, 100%. This thing is just so cheap, and it actually flips really well for how cheap it is. Yeah, Nabales does some amazing things in this ano. I needed to get something in contrast to the Bird of Prey, so this pink to blue fade is just so nice. Dude, I don't know where my camera is. I think the best way I can describe this thing is just a less distributed Orion. Like, I think if you transition from this to an Orion 1.5, like, it'll be pretty seamless. Like, I think the Orion is better, but pretty close to it. Like, I have kind of beaten this thing. Haven't been the nicest to it, despite having such a nice ano. But I mean, for how cheap it is, like, I was prepared to like destroy this thing and then get another one if it just explodes. Next up, oh my god, Volp 360. This thing was a birthday present. I don't flip it very much. I plan on getting the Seth Designs Volp Reblade, cause oh god, cause I just don't flip this thing. Cause I feel like people that are less experienced would enjoy this thing, but yeah, there's a limited amount of tricks you can do on this, and like, doesn't fan, so. I'm just constantly dropping it because I don't flip it very much, and I'm just too lazy to learn the unorthodox way of flipping this thing. But yeah, next thing is the New Era Abyss Lagoon. I don't like this thing. I want to sell it as fast as fucking possible. This thing is definitely a lot more of a looker than a flipper. This thing has so much handle weight because it's a tie spacer balisong, aluminum balisong, and the handles are like the same as like machine wise length. It does look really nice though. It just doesn't fan. I mean, like, I'm not gonna flip this thing very much because this thing's bitten me a lot because I'm just not used to it and like never reach for it. So I have a friend that I know might be interested. I don't expect him to buy it, but like I won't flip it very much for both his sake and my sake. Next Bally I got was my first machine-wise Balisong. Boy oh boy, this looks like a Volt Pro, but this is actually a Volt Pro. What the fuck am I saying? A Prisma Pro, but this is actually a Prisma V2, which is 6061 aluminum instead of 7075. So it is lighter in the handles and it makes it more neutral. And I've actually flipped a Prisma Pro before, and I think I like the V2 better just because it's more neutral. Yeah, this thing, it's as close to like a Kraken with a unique balance as you can get. I feel like this thing, with all the hype that was around it, I really wanted one for a very long time, because like when I got into the hobby, like when I started seriously getting into the hobby, they just discontinued the Prisma Pro, and that was a shame. But I have one now, or basically it's technically a V2, but I like this one better. Yeah, so that was my first machine-wise Bally. Next up is this bad boy. Now this, fortunately, isn't a real Seraph. This is the Bally Plus Seraph clone, and I know I just realistically won't buy a real Seraph for like retail. And like the second I saw these, I was like, dude, I gotta get one, because the Seraph is my dream Balisong. But after flipping one, it's like, well, I've never actually like flipped the real one, but flipping this, I'm like, I don't think it would have been worth it for me specifically to spend what, like $750. I don't know. It's a really nice, unique Balisong, but I don't know. Long Balisongs tend to have a lot more like stored momentum, so it relieves a lot of the tricks, or like a lot of the control that you need for tricks. It kind of like does it kind of for you, and part of me doesn't really like that because I prefer a more neutral, and like if it's heavy, I prefer to have at least control, like with a chab or a rep. I don't have either of those because I don't know, I just never really gotten around to maybe getting one. They're interesting. I have flipped them before. It's just a bit of a shock when I initially flipped them because they were so heavy. I'm definitely very new gen. Prefer semi-light Balisongs. I don't mind the heavy ones because I do like specific type of rep. Oh my god, I don't want to fucking drop that on my Prisma. I do really like the rep and stuff like that for its like flippability and stuff like that. But there's a lot of mod work that you have to put into it in order to have it like flip to a specific preference. And I flipped, I think, 3 different reps, and all of them have been different every single time. Like one had like buffness, G10 scales. Another one was like, it was like a mixture of clone materials and whatchamacallit, and real parts. But yeah, I definitely do flip this thing, but just not as much as my Prisma because I don't like heavy and long, because it's too momentum based and not enough control. Like the palette is long, but it's controlled enough to the point where like you got to put in the effort still to actually flip, as I say as I drop the thing. Next Balisong is the Frank Peener. I got this thing initially for a trip to Europe so I could flip while on vacation, and it didn't make it in time, and it was on my front porch while I was in the airport. So I was very disappointed, and I ended up getting fucked over by my airline and ended up staying an extra week while I was homesick and couldn't flip. So this thing, when I got back, every single Balisong I had in my collection felt so handle biased because I hadn't flipped for 2 weeks. But this thing is nice. It's short. I like that it's short, but it's a little too light sometimes for my flipping. I mean, I'm used to it now, but some days it's like not the best feeling. I did add some tape, as you can see, for the bite handle side. It was just kind of difficult to see, even though you can see the pins and stuff like that while you're flipping. For me, it's not enough, so I needed to tape it. Next up is these two. Technically, I got my Kraken a lot earlier, but this thing I want to save a bit to last because that is my favorite thing. The cheese. I love this thing. Waited until they got like a new colorway because I don't know, for some reason I just procrastinated for some reason on getting a cheese. Both the first and the second meetups I've ever gone to both had cheeses, and like every single time, out of all the other Balisongs that's bite side, out of all the Balisongs that I've flipped at those meetups, like the cheese just impressed me so much, especially for the price. This thing just feels like a Kraken. Oh god, my case just fucking fell over. What was I saying? Cheese flip good, is Gouda. I fucking love cheese in real life. I'm a fat bitch. Anyway, I don't know why it took me so long to get a cheese, but I got one now, and it's in their new mint color, which looks cool. I still kind of enjoy the light blue one. If you can see, my collection kind of has a colorway. I only have stuff that's either like silver, black, white, blue, purple, and green. But they were coming out with a new color, and I was like, I'll wait for that one. And I still do like the mint. I think it still looks pretty good. The next is probably my favorite flipping Balisong. The Squid Industries Lavender Kraken, but with a Hydra blade. The Hydraken. The Lavender Hydraken. This thing fucking cranks so hard. I love this thing so much. When I went to my first Bali meet, everyone had their own like special, like their own sort of Kraken type deal where they like made it personalized and stuff like that. And my second meet, actually, there was a Hydraken actually at both meets that I went to, and both times they actually like really blew me away. I flipped Bowie, Tonto, and Trainer in addition to the Hydra Blade, both Hydra Blades, both the Tonto and the Bowie, and I think the best flipping one in my opinion is the Tonto, but I prefer the look of the Hydra Tonto a lot better. I don't know, I'm not too big of a fan of the Squid Industries Tonto, even though I think it flips the best. This thing is like a runner-up for me. Yeah, this thing, I love it so much. The last Balisong in my collection, and boy, is this a fucking story. Oh my god, my case just keeps flipping over. This is a Thai Kraken, but sounds a bit weird, and that handle gap does not look right, and that's because these are fucking Blue River handles. Yeah, so coming back to when I was talking about the Orion, yeah, I got fucking scammed, but it wasn't by like the person I was trying to scam. I got like the kid I was buying from, he got scammed, and then technically I got scammed, so he scammed me unintentionally. But he was nice enough to send some of the money back, so I just paid for basically like defective fucking handles. And now I'm pissed and sad and depressed because now I have just shitty, like, weird mix. Because this is a real Kraken blade. This is from my original Lavender Kraken. It was a trainer initially, and I heard that the Thai Kraken flipped pretty good with the trainer blades, so I wanted one. And I flipped one before. I know a lot of people don't like this thing because it doesn't flip like a Kraken, but I still enjoyed it, so I really wanted one. Yeah, so it's just clone handles on a real blade, and I had to like do a mix match of hardware, and I mean it flips, but like I don't know, maybe I'll fix it in the future. Maybe get real ones. Maybe if they come up on the market again, I will grab some. But yeah. Anyways, that's my collection. I should probably make just a little more space. I don't like clanking my clanking my Balisongs together. Whatever. Yeah. So that's my collection. Peace.